Hello, this is Gerald van Was. This video series is meant to bring us closer to also to some foreign words, like some Chinese words. I compare them to what we are used to, so to English words. And I will make as a comparison, as a foundation to compare all of this with sounds, the meaning of sounds, the positions of sounds. Sounds themselves can be related via a theory that I have that in there in those books. Theory that shows you that each letter has a specific position in time and space, and that's how we can learn, we can understand also every word from that position. And of course also every character in Chinese has also a sound, and in that way we can compare what's written as a character and what's pronounced as a sound, and how it can be understood from the sounds. And I will compare zu with su versus the German zu, because it's exactly the same pronunciation, and I will compare this to the English tu. Zu is written like this, as you can see there at the left, and it means food, like, ample, or as much as, or sufficient, or full, or plentiful. It can mean a couple of things. That's the first thing that I simply take out of the dictionary, how it has been described. Now, how can we analyze it? What's written there as a character? Of course, you can recognize what is actually like a circle, which is now shown as a square, because all the characters should fit in a square, because they are about time frames, they are all about timings. And this O form that you see there, this cow form, actually cow form, is like a mouth. It can be the mouth of a river, it can be the mouth of several things, the starting point, or where it ends in. It can be those kind of things. So it is, let's say, an opening for a starting point. That's how you can mostly associate it. So that's all. It is a working field, but it is an entry towards a working field. That's what you can also compare it to. Now, what has been described there, the second symbol that you can see underneath is like the walking man, let's say, the Jeune, or the running man, as I also described it before. And the rest is actually referring to a certain position. Now, the man who's walking, you can also find the walking man with a point where he makes a stand and a starting point, as you see there underneath. The way we walk in the West is we first make a point where we stand, and then we jump to the next part. That's a kind of walking. That's not the kind of walking we will use here. So the first symbol at the left there is indeed also a walking man, but you see he moves forward onto the ground towards a different place. It's a different kind of walking. Now, you could ask me, do they walk differently in China as in Belgium, or in England, or in France? Yes, they do. They have a different perspective on how you should walk. And I will explain what the kind of walking is. If you look at the old Japanese film movies, these great samurai movies, you see these people also when they are running, they run differently. They are attached to the ground and then they run. It's not like we would jump, but if you would jump and you can immediately be slashed to the ground. It's not grounded. There's a way of walking which is grounded. That's the kind of walking that you see there, moving yourself, moving your feet actually to go to a different place. So the moving if we, especially as the samurai, it was very important to be steady. And if we moved, that you couldn't be, put out of your balance. And when you move your feet first, then you keep your balance also. You move differently. You learn that when you do when you learn fighting skills and so on. When you learn these sports, I can't remember the name at this point. Then you have to move differently. Have to start to move differently. As you can see up there. It moves your foot forward, and then it moves the other one in, and you remain steady. And that's what is happening here in this Tsu. It is a move with a steadiness and this awareness of remaining steadiness, so that this balance will be remained. That is how the move and every move should be. Compared to before we express the expression itself in sound, the Tsu, let's go to how we move in the English words, move to somewhere else. We say we go to somewhere, not to, we go to. We don't move with the feet, we move from place to place. The T is a placement. I focus upon something or someone or whatever else thing, and I move. When I move towards it, I focus myself from my position, and I take this moment or whatever out and focus upon it, and then move directly to it. Without this idea of balance, it's not there. It's a move from any position to any other position. That's the two. The Tsu is different. Tsu is a German word which also means to or towards. Actually, it has a different approach if you look at it from the sounds. Go Tsu. The sound is already going inwardly with the Z that is associated there. It's going inwardly. The U is going inwardly. It goes to a second position, but it deals with the circumstances there. So it is more like an approach. It's going towards something. It's approaching it. It's also approaching the conditions via the Z and via the U. It's all going towards the conditions. It deals with the conditions, and that's actually much more dealing with the whole set of circumstances, so that you can approach the other thing well. Same thing in the background is here as well, and that's why the Tsu, the move forward, is led by the feet, by the foot. And literally it is actually also the foot and so on, but it can be used differently as well. But then you have this idea in the background. The combination of a foundation that you do with it, like we say, okay, we have a foundation, we start from a steady viewpoint, and we want to be a steady viewpoint and start from there. Then you have this approach. Then you have this man who stands for his own thing, so not to move towards someone else. I stand for what I'm standing for first, and then I move towards the other. Then it is an approach which is not expressed as Tsu, but as Su, and it means something else. Here, why it means something else? The move forward is a reason before I start moving. I have a reason to stand for what I'm standing for. And the S itself as a sound is also cause and effect. So I have an urge, as I say, in a way. I have a reason, whatever that reason is. Urgency, to hurry, to urge, to promote, to close, to intimate. I read here in the books what the sign is means, but you can understand it from the characters. So there's a foundation. I have this foundation only because there's a foundation, and I have this gravity there. From there on, I will make my move towards the other, and that's a different approach than Tsu, than you have here with Su. I hope this brought you closer to these characters via the sounds, and even if in some other language it has a couple of other associations. The foundations from the sounds and sound positions are the same as in every language. You can discover it and then see what they do with it, and that's always interesting to discover. And you also have an image of how the behaviorism behind, not just behind the character, behind the language, but also behind the sound in general, is telling you what to do or how to behave and so on. And that's always hidden in these words and sounds as well. Anyhow, this was Jotuan van Was again. There's a website, there's some books, there's some Facebook page and so on. If you are interested, check one of these things out. Thanks again for watching. Bye bye.